Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is doing good. So in this demonstration, what I'll do, I'll just deploy a sample application that is a ExpressJs application basically, and we'll deploy that application to the Kubernetes. For this demonstration, I'm only using Kubernetes, no operators as such, Helm or something. So, and also for deployment, we'll be using Azure DevOps. So without wasting time, let's get started. So first of all, this is the repository of the application that I'll be deploying on Kubernetes. I'll add the link of this application in the description of the video, but you don't really require this. But you don't require all this code itself, because what we'll require here is the YAML file, that is the Kubernetes manifest file, that is deployment.yaml and service.yaml. The manifest files are very simple and very minimalistic. As you can see here, here I have like the template that I've defined as the minimum fields, whichever is required. We have used the labels as app, so this will be our label, and here we have defined the name of the image. This is the placeholder strategy. So whatever we have defined here in dollar parentheses, this will be replaced in the release. So we'll see how this works. Talking about the service.yaml, this is also very simple, very minimalistic. I've given the type as load balancer, and here I've defined the ports for it. So I'm assuming you are already aware of the fundamentals of Kubernetes. So I'm not going in depth like why this is load balancer and not of like no type of cluster IP. To give a little context, this is, we want to expose this to outside world. That is why we have like added this type as a load balancer type. So in this case, what this will do, this will create the external IP that we can use to point to our application. Okay, let's provision our resources that we'll need. We are going to need AKS, that is Azure Kubernetes Service, wherein we'll deploy our service. And apart from that, I don't think we need anything else. This, okay, let's create one AKS now. So like basically you can search here. In my case, that was present on the home page, but it might be possible that it's not present in your home screen. So what you can do, you can leverage the search bar here. So here I'll create one Kubernetes cluster. Choose any source group that you have, or you can even create a new one. This is the name of my Kubernetes cluster. Region I've selected to East US. So that is not required, but yeah, let's keep it that way. We don't really require this auto scaling. You can keep this manual and do node count of 2. So if you want to do some POC or stuff, so I would highly recommend not to use any of these, any of these SKUs like which are very expensive. This works in most of the cases for your testing or development. So you can use this B2MS. We'll keep the default settings. We'll go with all these default settings. We don't require to change any of these as of now. I think here as well the cluster preset configuration you can choose as dev test. It will save us some cost. So whenever we make some changes, make sure to check for these SKUs and the other settings. Let's validate like whatever inputs that we're given. Okay, validation passed, so we can go ahead and create this. This will take I think 1 to 2 minutes. This will also create some like ad hoc resources like public IPs or virtual machines if required. It might also provision some other resources that are dependent on that. So do not get worried about that at this point of time. Okay, as this is getting created, what you can do, you can go ahead and start creating our CI pipeline, that is the build pipeline. So I'm going to the DevOps, Azure DevOps portal. So the URL for that is dev.azure.com, and after that you have to write your organization. You can create your new project. If you don't see any project, I have already created a project, so I'll use this one. Here you have to navigate to this pipeline option and pipelines. We'll create a new pipeline. Okay, so as I always tell, like there are two ways of creating your pipeline. You can use the classic editor method, or you can define your YAML file, that is Azure pipelines.yaml. Here in this video, I'll go with this classic editor method. That is very simple to explain. Here we have a couple of options to select. We can select like where our code is. This is for the repository management. Your organization might be using Bitbucket or GitLab or something. Whatever you're using, you can integrate your repository here. So there shouldn't be any problem. So my code is in GitHub. So I'll select this GitHub, and for authorization, I have already configured my GitHub with this, like personal access token. Here I can browse the repository. To select this. Here I'll select the branch that I'm going to deploy, which will be the main. And here we have like a bunch of predefined templates that we can use. So in this build pipeline, what we are going to do is, well, whenever there is a new commit to the repository, we will trigger this build and we'll create a new Docker image and push that Docker image to the Docker Hub, which is a container registry. Let's configure what all fields we have. The agent I'll choose as Azure Pipelines. So if you are if you have like newly created your Azure DevOps, okay, so this option will not work for you because this is like managed by Microsoft, and by default, like you have to ask Microsoft to give them a permission so that you can use the agent that is hosted on Microsoft. The alternate option would be to create your own names and use them as a private agent, which is called like self-hosted agent. So this is the specification that I'm choosing for the agent. That means the agent that will be, I'm choosing the Linux-based agent. You have option to choose Mac OS-based agents or Windows-based agents. Okay, don't need to change anything here. Looks good. Okay, here we have to define the container registry. So you can use like any container registry. Like if you want to use Docker Hub, you can use. If you want to use, Azure Kubernetes registry, you can use that. Or if you want to use, AWS container registry, that is ECR, then you can use that. Okay, so I have already created a connection for my Docker Hub. That is why I can see the connection. But in your case, you would not see it. So what you have to do is you have to click on new, choose Docker Hub name, or another repository if you want to use. You can choose other and give the URL for that registry. Here you have to give the Docker ID and the password and give a name to your service connection. That's all. Click on the verify so that it can verify. And if the verification has been successful, you can go ahead and click save, verify and save here. Okay, so what file this will build is, so here we have to give the path for your Docker file where your Docker file is present. And just look at like the parameter as well. A few times they ask for the directory and a few times they ask for the file itself, path of the file itself. So you have to give accordingly. Okay, here, what should be our image name? So the image name, here we have to, append something because it should be according to the, user ID that you have created for your Docker Hub. So I'll show you. Okay, so here I've created a username with this number of alphanumeric number, whatever you can do. Okay, so we have to follow the same nomenclature there itself. So here what I'll do. Here I've given the username, okay, and I don't want to dynamically change this value. So what I'll do, I'll just hard code this, and this will also depend on like what image stream that we have given in the deployment.yaml. Okay, so let's copy all this. Okay, here we go. So this is the name of the image name. This will be our image name. We have to do the same process here. We can select container registry in the service connection. Change the image name. Okay. So as of now, we have built our image and we have pushed our image to the container registry. Okay, but this is just a CI part. After this, there will be CD pipeline, which is a release pipeline that will release your build and run your like whatever deployment and service YAML file that we have created on Kubernetes cluster. So what we have to do, we have to pass on the artifacts that are created here to the next pipeline, okay, to the CD pipeline. So here what we'll do, we'll just publish our artifact somewhere. So what we can do, we can okay, before we used to use this one, copy and publish build artifacts, but this has been replicated. So what we'll do, we'll use copy, and we'll also use publish. Okay, I don't want to use this one. What will be the source folder here? So for CD, as I told you, what files we require? We require deployment.yaml and service.yaml, which I have kept in a directory which is Kubernetes. So I'll select this directory. Okay, and I'm saying copy all. What will be the target folder? We'll come to that. Here we can see okay, so this is the path. This is the path to publish. I'm going to say the artifacts that will be published will be taken from this directory. So what we'll do, we'll add the target folder to this one. Now this task will pick up all those build artifacts and push them to artifacts, Azure artifacts. If you want to understand Azure artifacts in detail, let me know. I can create a detailed video dedicated to that topic as well. Okay, this looks fine. Let's see. Okay, AKS is ready. I'll go ahead and run this. Okay, last time I ran this application, ran pipeline for this application was 6 days ago. Let's wait for this pipeline to be completed. At this point of time, the agent is building the image. So in this application, I have taken very simple use case. It's just one application wherein we have one deployment and one service .yaml file. But if you want me to create a dedicated video on deploying a complicated microservice, maybe a couple of microservices, 2 or 3. So do let me know. I will create a dedicated video on that. Okay, this has been completed. Let's refresh this. We should see a new version. Okay, you can see a few seconds ago this was updated. And if you click on this one, okay, the latest one is build number 52. Okay, cool. Our CI is working fine. Let's create the CD pipeline now. Click on this release blade that is here and click on this create release. Here you have to select the artifact for which you want to create. So that's the wrong button. You have to select this new and then create new release pipeline. Okay, so as this video is all about deploying an application to Kubernetes, search for Kubernetes, and if they have any predefined templates, you can leverage that. Here I can see we have this deploy to Kubernetes cluster predefined template. We use that. You can define the name for your staging. I'll give dev. Now click on this add artifact, and so remember we created the artifact in the previous pipeline, and we have to map that here. Select the project name is correct. This is the project name that is created inside organization in Azure DevOps. Okay, so do not be confused with your project or the application name or something. Okay, what was the name of our pipeline? We'll edit the name here. We'll give some unique name. That is good. This got saved. We'll again have to reload this. Let's see this. Okay, we can see it here. Click on add. Okay, so your build is connected to this pipeline. Okay, now let's go to the task. We have one task here, that is kubectl. So if you want to deploy your deployment.yaml or service.yaml, what you have to do, you have to use kubectl commands, right? So you have to do kubectl apply and -f and give the file name. So we'll do the same here. Here it is asking for Kubernetes service connection. Okay, so since I have already created a connection, I'm able to see it here. But in your case, you will not see it if you are creating this for first time. So what you have to do, you have to create a new, okay, and you have like three methods to provide the authentication. You can use config, okay, you can use service account, or you can use your Azure subscription, okay, and like whatever the Azure subscription you have, they will be visible in this dropdown. So I'm hoping you guys are aware like how to get your config file. If not, do let me know in the comments. And there is just a simple command there. Maybe you can Google it. It's a very simple command. You can Google it and how to fetch config file for Kubernetes. And you will get that command. There is no need for any namespace commands. We are going to use apply command. Arguments, there is no need for any arguments, but in your case, if your application requires any arguments, make sure you are specifying it here. We have other fundamental things like if you have like some config maps or something, you can define it here. Okay, but there is one more thing that is left. So in beginning, I told you like we'll be defining something like this, right? So you need to replace this with the build ID, latest build ID. So what we'll do, we'll add a task here. It is a replace token. Yes, and again, if you're using this token for the first time, you will have to download this from Azure Marketplace. Okay. Okay. So what is the root directory? Root directory is struct because all our files are inside this drop only. What is the name of the target file? Okay. So here it requires only directory, and this requires target file. Okay, here we go. Here you have to select the token pattern that you have used. Okay, that's all. Let's change the name here, give some meaningful name here. You can say project name, which is DWL. We'll save it. We'll create a release. Let's monitor the logs for a few seconds. Click on the job to see the logs. In the meantime, we'll navigate to the resource. Click on the services and instances. So there are some services that are related to Kubernetes. We haven't created any services yet, not with these names, right? So we'll wait for this CD to be completed. Okay, something has gone wrong. Let's see. The error says we have missed hyphen F. I think we have missed defining the files. Let's save this. Okay, there is some problem with the agent that we are using. I think we haven't configured that agent properly. Let's see. Oh yes. So we have to use this Azure pipeline, and here I'll use Ubuntu 20.04. Let's create another release. Oops. We'll have to review all the configurations. This is correct. Okay. Okay, got it. I think the problem is here. It's like my connection has been expired or something. Okay, and after that here we should select the cluster. We'll give it decent name here. Okay, let's save this. Okay, that's done. Let's refresh our services and let's see. We should see one service being created. Yeah. And we can also see one external IP here. Click on that. External. So this is the application that we just deployed. So one bonus tip, I will show you how you can, what are options are there using which you can enable the continuous integration and continuous deployment. Okay, so you don't have to manually run your pipelines again and again. Go to Azure DevOps. In the release section, you would just open this or just click on the edit one. Here you would see this lightning logo. Okay, so this is continuous deployment trigger. Click on this, and here click on this enable. Okay, so what this will do, whenever you have a new build available, okay, this will automatically get triggered. Okay, and this will get triggered up and will deploy your changes. You don't have to manually run this pipeline. And for the continuous build, go to that pipeline. Okay, click navigate to this section that is triggers. Okay, and here enable this continuous integration. Okay, so what this will do, whenever you have a new build, and that also you can define. So what we are doing here, what we are saying here is, this is the branch specified, and we have to include this branch. Okay, and we can like add or remove and do anything over here. And wherever there is a some activities that is being performed on this branch. Okay, this this CI pipeline, this will automatically get triggered up, and this will build your artifact. Okay, so that was it for this demo. I hope this has added this demo has added some knowledge to you. Do give a like and subscribe. This will encourage me to create more such videos. Till then, have a good day. Bye bye.